Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. A successful stockbroker bought a brand new Porsche, and he parked it right in front of his building on the street. And as he opened his door, a truck sideswiped the Porsche, ripping his door off. And he was furious. And he immediately called 911 and said, "I lost my door in my car. Come help." And within minutes, a police officer had arrived. And before the police officer could even ask a single question, the stockbroker was hysterical. "You can't believe it. I just bought this car yesterday. I can't believe my car is ruined." The police officer listened to him rant and rave for almost a minute. And finally he calmed down, and the police officer was able to get a question in wordwise. And he asked him, he said, "I can't believe you stockbrokers are so materialistic that you don't even notice what's going on around you. All you care about is your possessions." And the stockbroker said, "What are you talking about? Of course I do." And the police officer says, "No, if you had, you would notice that your left arm is missing from the elbow down." The truck that took off your car door must have taken off your arm with it. And the stockbroker looked down at his arm and he said, "Oh my God, my Rolex!" Now I hope I'm not as materialistic as that guy. But as our Toastmaster said, I have been investing for about 30 years. I'm not a financial wizard. I'm certainly not a money guru. But I do have a little bit of experience. Now I can share a few ideas with those of you in the audience who may be more experienced than I and some who maybe have no experience whatsoever. I'm calling this Investment 101. I just want to leave you with 3 ideas today. The first idea is to educate yourself. What does that mean? Well, those of you who have pencil and paper, I would like for you to write down a title and author of this book. It's called The Wealthy Barber, and the author is David Chilton. And this is a book worth reading. My very first investment book, and it's written in such a way that anybody who just doesn't know anything about investing will understand at least the basic concepts. It's an excellent book. And it's written in a story-like manner that anyone can enjoy. So get that. The next thing I'd like to tell you about educating yourself is a website that I particularly go to very frequently. It's called Fool.com. Many of you are smiling, so I know many of you are familiar with this website. But for those of you who are not, it is a site that's dedicated to educating investors like me and like you. And it has discussion groups and investment communities and news, financial information, and research on companies. And the third way you can educate yourself is, I'm going to look here. Can't think of the third place. I forgot what that was. Let's go on to the second thing I want to talk about. The second thing, so educating yourself is one thing, and then you want to, invest your money regularly. Now what this means is, there's a term in finances called dollar cost averaging. What this means is you take a little bit of your money every payday and you put it into the stock market or your mutual funds or whatever it is you're investing in. Now dollar cost averaging is a very interesting concept because it's the only concept that I can think of in finances where when the price of your shares goes down, you're happy. The reason you're happy when prices of your shares go down is because you can buy more shares for the same amount of money. And that's what you get for dollar cost averaging. Your money goes further and it gets spread over time. So think about that. Next, I would like everyone to think about doing regular automatic transfers into your investment account. If you have 401k, you probably already have money coming out of your paycheck. If you have a brokerage account, you should automatically transfer money into that so that you can use that money to buy stocks and bonds or mutual funds. So we talked about educating yourself, and we talked about regular investments. And the third thing I want to leave with you is long-term thinking. Now, it's very easy to get frightened when you're in the stock market and to panic when you see the stock market going up and down, and up and down, up and down, which it does a lot. Everyone who has been in here, I'm sure, knows what's going on with the economy today. Don't panic. Think long-term. Now, the stock market does go up and down every week and every month. You'll see things, and in fact, 2011 actually ended right about where it began. And in the middle, it went, and then it went, and then it came back up to where it was. Don't panic. In 2008, when the stock market crashed, I know some very smart people who saw the price of their stocks going like this, and what did they do? They sold down here because they were afraid. And then the price started going up, and they bought up here. Now think about that for a minute. They sold here, and they bought here. Does that sound smart? Think about that. So, educate yourself. Regularly invest your money, and think long term. Now to close off, I'd like to leave a story, part of my project. An American baking investor found himself walking down a pier in a small Mexican village. And he saw a little boat coming in. And as he looked down off the pier into the boat, there was one person on the boat and 3 very beautiful yellow fin tuna. And the American investor said, "Hello, sir. It's a very fine fish you have. How long did it take you to catch those?" He said, "Not too long." The American asked the Mexican, he said, "Well, why didn't you catch them?" He said, "That's all I need. I have plenty here to feed my family." The American said, "Ah, but what do you do with the rest of your time?" The Mexican replied, "Well, I sleep in late, I do a little fishing, I play with my children, I take siesta with my wife in the afternoon, and in the evening, I stroll down into the village and I play my guitar with my amigos." And the American said, "I can't believe I can help you. I have an MBA from Harvard. All you have to do is spend a little more time fishing. You can use that proceeds to buy a bigger boat. You can use the proceeds from that to buy even a bigger boat. You can buy a fleet. You can bypass the middleman, sell your fish directly to the cannery. And then you can take over the cannery business, but you'll have to move your headquarters to Mexico City, and then eventually LA, and then eventually New York. And by the time you get done, you'll be a rich man." And the Mexican said, "Oh, really? Well, what would I do after that?" He said, "Ah, that's the best part. Once you make all this money, then you can IPO your company, and you'll make millions." And the Mexican said, "Well, what would I do after that?" "Ah, that's good. Then you can move to a small Mexican village. You can fish a little. You can sleep in late. You can take siesta with your wife. You can go stroll down into the village and play the guitar with your amigos." I'm a Toastmaster.